identity is an acronym. And, you know, I questioned on my journey, what is the real process for letting go? So it actually started out as REAL, R-E-A-L. And the R stands for recognize. You must recognize what the belief is that's holding you back. Who has an idea of what the most common belief is among human beings? The most common belief at some point in your life...
Not being good enough?
Not being good enough. Stand up. Candace gets the big hug. She gets the mommy hug.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
Awesome. Not being good enough. As human beings, it's built into our cellular system in our DNA that at some point in our life we don't feel like we measure up. We don't feel like we're good enough. Not enough of something. I'm not good enough or smart enough or pretty enough or skinny enough or tall enough or, you know, whatever it is. There's a not enough experience in our DNA. Whether it's because parents have compared us to siblings or teachers have compared us to other students, our grade system in school, you know, A, B, C, D, F, you know, well, gee, there's a comparison right there. If you don't measure up, you know, it settles in you. And being that it's at a cellular level, when does it come up? It's buried in you at a subconscious level. Now, if I had a dry erase board here, I'd draw a picture of what would look like a circle. And in that circle, the top 10% would be your conscious mind. The other 90% is your subconscious mind. And that's where your octopus lives. Your octopus is your ego. And what happens, have you ever felt like an octopus was taking its tentacles, wrapping it around you, strangling you, holding you paralyzed in your circumstance or your situation, and you just couldn't move? I felt like that. When everything collapsed around me, I literally was paralyzed. I kept my head buried in the sand. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't talk about finance, money. Look what happened. What did I love about the past 7 years? I loved the coaching, working with the business owners, working with the entrepreneurs to get them to the next level. That I had a passion for. And while I couldn't face the financial side of the business, I focused on helping people move forward in business and in life. Helping people to let go of these sabotaging beliefs. Because now I had created this process. So, recognize the belief that's holding you back. Maybe it's a not good enough belief. Let's say a smart enough. I'm not smart enough. You recognize that that belief holds you back. Now, how do you know if it holds you back? If it comes up and you think it, guess what? It's holding you back. If it's a negative thought, it's holding you back. Okay, because it has more power. You could be saying daily affirmations 5, 10, 15 times a day, but if you have this negative, gnawing belief, it's going to overpower that positive affirmation. Two opposing thoughts cannot exist in the same space at the same time. The negative one is always going to have more pull. So you're going to have to say a whole lot more positive affirmations to dilute that negative. But still, you have to eliminate the negative. So first you recognize that belief. The E in real, or reality check, E is embrace the emotions that are triggered by that belief. Now that seems like an odd thing to do. How does not being smart enough make me feel? Okay, I feel dumb. I feel inadequate. I feel stupid. How do I embrace that? Well, what I say is you embrace it as if it were a helpless infant, an innocent little puppy. You know, you just hold it in your arms. You hold it from a place of love. You hold it with your heart. And you embrace those emotions. Because you know what? Those emotions have protected you from something. I have lost 50 pounds. I had to ask myself, why was I holding on to 50 pounds of excess weight? What was it protecting me from? Once I was able to answer that, I was able to unzip the fat suit, step out of it, and start losing the weight. Now I had to take action. I had to physically do something about it, but mentally I was now ready to do something about it. So recognize the belief that's holding you back. Embrace the emotions. Now here's the fun part. The A is acknowledge. Acknowledge all the evidence that you've accomplished in your life. You get to go back to when you were a child to say, oh, okay, smart enough. I'm not smart enough. Well, I got an A on this paper. I got an A in this grade. I was the valedictorian. I got my high school diploma. If that's all you got, guess what? It's a PhD. Your public high school diploma. Okay? So you can pride yourself on accomplishments. Okay? You went to college. You got hired for jobs. Every time you got hired. So I had one client say, I can't keep a job. I'm not good at getting jobs. I'm like, well, how many jobs have you had? Oh, probably about 25, 30 jobs. I'm like, you're great at getting jobs. The problem is keeping them. So let's figure